the group collectively this year, ICANN has been everything for this group collectively for our phase 2 group, because this year a lot of our kids, our ICANN participants, they got their dream scenario, which was work from home, no one's going to disturb you, it's all going to be online at your own pace, and you can be, you know, playing video games and whatever, as long as you submit this. And, you know, they got what they absolutely wanted, and they got the conditions that helps them to thrive in some ways. And then they got pulled out from underneath them, and they had to come back to the coalface of teaching, back to, you know, the system that some of them, you know, some of the participants in the group talk about all the time hating. And so ICANN has been that supportive factor every week, that, you know, they've been able to talk through their emotions, which has been really good. One student in particular, Xander, that was his dream, to be at home, being able to scratch all day long while he was, you know, learning online. And then to come back into the school routine has been really difficult for him. And through conversations with ICANN, because he's receptive and listening the whole time, and he's picking up lots of conversations and lots of words that everyone else is using in the group, that later on, days later, will come out of him, because he's sitting there listening to the conversations, even though he's not participating in the conversations. But they come out in later conversations one-on-one with me. And that is so important for someone like Xander, who's trying to transition back into the routine of being at school. Because even though he's not displaying that he is, you know, really enthusiastic and enjoying the process of being in the room and sharing thoughts and feelings and all that kind of stuff, it is actually really good for him, and he knows it. And so because of his learning through the ICANN, he's just come to his own conclusions that some things aren't good for him. And I don't think he would have come to those conclusions if he didn't have the conversations that are occurring in the ICANN network for him. And that's huge, because he's owning, you know, his journey this year, and he's owning the things that have been good for him and the things that have been bad for him, which is really good. And I'm not too sure if he could have made that progression in, how long has it been? 6 months since he went back, you know, since the lockdown, and then, you know, whatever. I think that ordinarily would have taken Xander years to go through, but the routine of every week unpacking feelings around the autistic brain has been incredible.
Another one was quite opposite. He very disturbed within himself for the feeling of low self-esteem and low self-worth, and not wanting to be a part of on the earth. He would call himself a worthless human being, which is so sad. So grade 7, and feeling that way, feeling about that for home, school, everything. He never spoke positively. He would almost bring someone to tears by the time he would have a conversation. I had him in class as well, and just the conversation we'd have would break your heart, because how low he felt about himself. I think it was halfway through the sessions, and I haven't heard a negative word out of his mouth since, and I still teach him now. He speaks confidently. His shout out is to himself usually, me being me, and that's the biggest step. His mum phoned and said that he hadn't stopped talking about the group, and that he then catches up after school with them. He likes to try and walk home with them, but he doesn't always get to do that. So he is expanding that network, and he just feels good about himself.
Okay, I'll start with Bailey. Now, Bailey is amazing. She's a girl with autism, and she believes she can. She started in the program in 2018, the pilot, as a middle year 7. And she has grown from strength to strength. She performed at the Sunshine Coast, I went to see it with my daughter and it was amazing. She performed at the Sunshine Coast Drama Festival. She put together a piece about girls with autism and it was amazing. That was just fantastic, and without the program that wouldn't have happened. She believes now that she can. She's also training to be a mentor with James. She attends a session every week and she wants to help. She sees what the program does and she wants to do it too. She has such a passion to make girls with autism understand their disability, because she is so aware it is very different to boys with autism, and we need to get that word out there, and she's going to do that. She is, I believe in her. That's Bailey. Number 2, now Riley. He's amazing. He has graduated now. He decided after being in the program in year 8 in 2018, he wanted to be a film buff. So he made a movie and he posted posters all over the school to tell everybody in Caboolture High School that he was showing his movie in the library. So I said to Riley, okay Riley, we'll do this, we'll put the posters up, but just be prepared. You know, some teachers might be there. We didn't have enough room in the library. The school just made it to the library and watched his movie. It was just amazing. The other thing was, he performed at the Autism Hub. He showed his movie at the Autism Hub. A little story about Riley at graduation. His mum, I was there with him, and his mum circled the graduation to make sure he was okay. We had his mum on speed dial. He made it to graduation. The only problem was he wanted to get towards the microphone. The DJ microphone. So yeah, Bailey and Riley, oh my God, what can I say? Without the program, none of that would have happened.